for parabola, if you didn't know all the qualities of parabola, you would want to go through this background and make sure you understood that they can open upward or downward. And we can see that based on the coefficient in front of the x squared. So if it's a positive number, then it's going to open upward. If this is a negative number, it's going to open downward. So I know right away, this is a positive 3, it's going to open upward. And I can tell that just from looking at the piece here. And then we'll be graphing equations in the form y equals ax squared with a not equaling 0. So this means that the graph of such a function is having 0, 0 as a vertex. So it's just kind of giving us that leg up a little bit there. Kind of, we can eliminate quite a bit just from knowing that vertex. So the current problem, we have to graph the one like this, not this exact one, but one just like this. And we want to start on our vertex. You always, always, always start with your vertex, because then you'll know you want to move to the right 1 space and to the left 1 space, to the right 2 spaces, to the left 2 spaces. You always want to know where your middle is that you're moving right and left from, so that you're kind of accurately aiming there. So here you can see 0, 0 is in the middle, and they tested it out. They plugged in 0 just to make sure that they did in fact get the 0. And then they added 1. They went 1 to the right and 1 to the left. And then they went 2 to the right and 2 to the left. And we plug these in and we find our coordinates. We need 5 of them for the system to work correctly. So we have to do this for 5 points. You graph your 5 points, and then we're going to hit our parabola button on the screen to do this. So let's go ahead and try this out really quick. So I already know, if I'm looking at my x, y table here. Whoops, I didn't mean to minimize that. So I know 0 is going to be 0 because of the function rule. But I can test that real quick and go -2 times 0 squared. Well, anything times 0 is 0. So that does in fact work out. So then I'm going to go -1, -2, and 1 and 2. So I'm going to start with my positives here. Why not? Doesn't necessarily matter which ones we start with. So -2 times 1 squared. We need to do 1 squared first. 1 times 1 is 1, times -2 is -2. If I do the positive or the negative version, that should actually give me the same answer because I'm squaring it. So -1 squared is 1, times -2 is -2. So these guys should be mirrored. I should see the exact same answer here. And I should see the same thing for these next two. So -2 times 2 squared, I get 2 times 2 is 4, times -2 is -8. So if I test this one, -2 times -2 squared, well, -2 squared is 4, times -2 is 8 again, -8. So I can see this mirroring happening. I should see that from the middle, they should be the same on either side. If I don't see that happening, I need to go back and check my math and make sure that something hasn't gone wrong. So now I'm going to go -1 and -2, boom, +1 and -2, +2 and 8, and -2 and -8. All right, so I can definitely see that's mirroring. And now when I click this parabola, graph a function, it automatically snaps the line there for me, or the curve, the parabola. I don't have to do any other clicking other than just click on this point. But if I don't have my 5 points clicked, it's not going to do it for me. So make sure you have your 5 points graphed before you click that button. Otherwise, it's going to tell you, oh, you don't have all of your points correctly graphed. All right, so we can check this guy, and it is good to go. So let's keep moving forward here. All right, so now we're going to graph a parabola that has a +2 on it. So if we go in here, this one's slightly different because now we need to know what our vertex is. And in this case, they're telling us the vertex is at 0, C. So we have y equals ax squared plus c. This is our form. So our vertex is going to be 0, and then whatever this plus number is, whatever's being added or subtracted there. So it makes it, pretty quick. We can start using that vertex right from that point. All right, so let's go ahead and try this out. So we have x and we have y. So I know it's going to be 0, and then my plus number here is 2. So there's my vertex. And if I plugged this in and I put 0 here for x, I do in fact get just 2 left over, right? Because 0 squared is 0, plus 2 is 2. So that works. All right, and then I'm going to go -1, -2. Not negative. I almost put negative on that side. 1 and 2. All right, so now we have 1 squared plus 2. 1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. I should see the same thing for the negative here. At least the same answer. So -1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. So there's the mirroring happening. And 2 squared plus 2, we have 2 times 2, or 2 squared is 4, plus 2 more is 6. -2 squared plus 2, so -2 squared is also 4, plus 2 more is 6. So there's my mirroring again. So that's definitely what I'm looking for when I see this, is I want to see that mirror happening, just like on that last one. So I have 0 and +2. I have +1 and 3, -1 and 3, -2 and 6, and +2 and 6. And then I can click that button, and there we go. It snaps right on there for me. All right.